Yep, that a babe.
Every angler has a favorite time of the year to chase fish with a fly. Whether it be during the blossoming spring, during the green of summer, the colors of autumn, or during the cleansing white of winter. It merely offers a backdrop to a pursuit that has attached itself to the soul of a fly fisherman. Rod, reel, fly, and fish.
Oh, there's a big fish.
Oh, big fish!
Here we go.
Big fish! Under that log, behind that rock, or deep in the dark blue could lie the fish of a lifetime. It's in that helpless hope that the angler will march from year to year through a lifetime, hoping the next cast connects dreams and a fish of legend. Welcome to Seasons on the Fly.
Yeah. Big fish. Follow him.
Wow.
Big fish.
Welcome to Seasons on the Fly. The seasons in Alaska are changing, and its final run of salmon is almost home. And in this episode, we've got a couple of fathers and sons and someone you might recognize. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Seasons on the Fly, and welcome back to Alaska's Inside Passage.
There you go. That a boy. On the fly. Hot one.
Jeez.
Sometimes it's easy. There are days in a fisherman's life when the fish are thick and their desire to grab is voracious. This is one of those days.
Okay.
Mark Few is using this time to create memories with his son Austin James, or AJ,
Seasons on the fly.
Seasons on the fly.
the head men's basketball coach at Gonzaga University.
And, I just felt like AJ's 13 now. It's time, with electronics and...
On it. That a boy. He's probably going to run a little bit now. Just try to reel up the slack now. Pinch the line and reel up the slack if you can. Keep the line tight.
Oh, there you go.
And
There you go. Good.
the teenage years and all that, I wanted to just get some one-on-one special time with him where he and I could just kind of hang out.
That's it. Got it.
Yep. That a babe.
Talk when we want to and just hang out, and I want him to be able to experience all this, all these places that I'm able to experience.
Hot one. He's a beaut.
Look at him. Cook will love this one.
The other boat, the McConkeys, Bob and his son Brian. And Sean Vicentainer, a guide and fly shop owner from Eastern Washington.
Being with your son and experiencing the wilderness and the camaraderie of other people and hanging out with Mark and with AJ and it's just, I know, this is what we call creating memories, and we've created some great memories this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I fish really is with my dad. He's kind of the reason I do it. It's fun spending some time with him, and he's always been a good coach and takes care of me, so he makes it easy on me for sure.
Welcome to Southeast Alaska, somewhere inside the Inside Passage. The team arrived aboard the Perseverance, which means that Larry Larson of Wild Alaska Sport Fishing and Cruises is the band leader.
The expectations of our guests coming to Alaska for the first time especially, they're always high. But when they see the number of fish that can congregate at the mouth of their natal spawning grounds, it overwhelms them. Overwhelming is the word. To see that many fish in one place and they have a rod in their hands, it's fantastic.
Well, this isn't a typical Heister show. People are catching fish. Guess he's just got to bring the right guys.
It's September, prior to the start of the college basketball season and the end of the sport fishing season for Larry. The silvers are thick and ornery.
This one.
Doubled up again. You boys on the double.
It's good to get Coach Few up here. He and I have talked about it for a few years now, and he's a numbers guy.
When I go fishing, I like to catch fish, I mean, it's great to cast a lot, but if you're going fishing, you might as well be in position to catch a lot, and on this trip, you're going to catch a lot.
Put him back.
There he goes.
The experience is just beginning for the young Few. This trip reveals the true Alaska, the sights, the sounds, those whales, and more fish than you could ever imagine when Seasons on the Fly continues. Mark Few is one of the winningest active coaches in college basketball today. The pressure cooker that is the season is just a few weeks away. When he's not devising new plays or beating feet on the recruiting road, he likes to chase fish, a passion that he's hoping to pass on to his son, AJ.
Is the anchor up? I really want to get my kids up to Alaska to have them experience Alaska. And I mean, this trip is just tailor-made for bringing somebody along. You know, it's a lot of the trips you and I go on, you got to really battle the elements, and you got to be pretty hardy. Oh, I thought he was,
Old chunk out of his back.
Guy, look at him.
Oh!
Oh, whoa, look at him.
There's a reason he survived that sea lion.
This one isn't one of them. I mean, this boat's incredible. You know, the places we go, the fishing's very easy. The scenery, like we talked about, is spectacular.
Oh, that's really cool. Way more whales than I expected. And it's really pretty out here too.
Here we go, but Dad's right in it. Oh, and you lose. Yesterday I made 10 casts and caught 10 fish. I mean, I've never done that in my life, in a pond, and oh, fish on, game over.
Are you
got all that time. Anything, 10 straight. I mean, that's crazy. And I mean, we're talking, you know, silvers anywhere from, you know, 5 to 10 pounds. So just crazy.
The Perseverance is parked under vertical cliff walls. The waterfalls serenade those on its decks, while keeping a safe space between it and the coastal brown bears that patrol the beach. They too would love to catch a few of these fish.
Amazing thing to me is just there's just so much of this country with no people, you know, with no chance of ever running into any kind of people. And that's what's cool about this wild Alaska, you know, is, you know, they take you in and you're not running into people. You know, some of the Alaska excursions I've been on, you're still trying to find your spot on the river, just like you were fighting for a steelhead spot on the Deschutes or the, you know, or the Grand Ronde. And I mean, up here, this is about as remote as you can get.
Fish are fish, and they're not all the same, and some of them are red hot, but coho, they've got to be the best fish to target on a fly rod as far as the salmon species, and boy, some of them were really, really, really hot fish. Yeah, it was great.
I mean, it's great to go and catch a lot of fish instead of just casting to fish. It's nice to get out and get some numbers. This is some of the most beautiful country I've ever seen. It's rugged, it is a little damp, but it's rugged and scenic, a lot of waterfalls, super green and lush. It's awesome.
They return here in the tens of thousands. Pink salmon swimming shoulder to shoulder with silver salmon, or coho, fresher, brighter, bigger. And as you can see, when you find them, a well-placed and stripped fly will find pay dirt.
Technique is you can do floating lines or sinking lines, fishing bait fish, clouser minnow type of patterns, or you can do more traditional egg-sucking leeches and just cast out, sink it, strip it, set the hook.
Purple and black articulating leech was without any weight on it. Watching those fish chase it on the surface, that was my fly of the week.
Got him.
Oh, we thought so.
So I get questions all the time. What about the gear? We want to know more about the gear. So here we go. This is a Loop Cross Flatsman 890 with a Loop Opti Runner fly reel, floating fly line, and here's your fly. This one's really eaten up. The body's gone. Look at that. That's all that's left. All colors seem to work. Fly wasn't important. Colors weren't. Some worked better than others, but there were so many fish in there, you always caught fish.
I think that this is the last great place in America and one of the last great places on earth. The experiences that our guests can achieve, can have here with us are incredible, and I think they're irreplaceable in a lot of their memories. The conservation side of it should be part of that. Taking home a better understanding of the fragile nature of the greatest fishery on earth is something we try to install in all of our guests.
I don't know if there's a more beautiful place on the planet. The Inside Passage and some of these areas that Larry fishes around Baranof and Admiralty Islands, and then you throw all those coho in there like that, and you know, it is a place where you go to catch a lot of fish, but you can't forget to sit down and just rubberneck some too.
Waterfall.
Yeah.
Salmon, what do you think?
I know. It's the wild Alaska, Larry.
Hey, man. This is the way it ought to be.
The fish almost become secondary when you look around in this country. I mean, it's so incredibly beautiful and steep and rugged.
It's like you catch them on accident, or you'll throw your line out there and you're just trying to work out some more line, and all of a sudden you have a fish on. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
This fly didn't really matter much. Anything that hit the water and moved worked really, really well.
The sea lions have also found these fish. Trust me, there are plenty to go around. They couldn't possibly make a dent in the numbers here. It's a rainforest. It rains. This country is built high and steep. The water fills these bedless rivers and creates a landscape that is rivaled by few. The water crashes to earth, creating a barrier that these fish cannot negotiate. The end of the road for them, and they become an easy target for those trying to catch them.
You know, the weather, here it is, we're in a rain storm right now, and that's Alaska, you know, and it's beautiful all in itself. We had a little bit of sunshine, which was beautiful, but we've seen the low clouds. We've had great weather. The rain is part of the experience, and that's what creates the beauty, is the rain. So, you know, you can't curse the rain.
When Seasons on the Fly continues, silvers on poppers. You get tired of catching silvers, you can then get tired of reeling and reeling and reeling. And I wonder if he'd eat a fly. Petersburg, Alaska, a port. You either fish when you live here or you live somewhere else. It's where the trip begins or ends for Larry Larson and his guests. A short distance from those backs and tails of the cohos, the flatfish and rockfish of the open waters of the Inside Passage. This crew has traded in the long rods and tapered leaders for the short, stout, back-breaking tackle used to catch halibut and lingcod, and the other pelagics here.
Are you good to go?
What do you think, AJ?
Oh, this is big.
I mean, you cannot come up here and doubt that there isn't a God. This is just not possible that this type of beauty could be created, and just a vast array of wildlife, and not say that, you know, God didn't create all this stuff. Now, it'd be nice if us humans would just not screw it all up like we have a tendency to always do.
Fish on, baby.
The halibut was like all about, those are groceries. And we got some groceries, and I'm glad that was over. I caught a 60-pound halibut, and I was just thanking God it wasn't a 200-pound halibut.
Got it?
There's not a lot of light.
And when you would least expect it, wild Alaska appears.
Oh, is that its mouth?
That's his mouth, buddy.
One afternoon, we were transiting from point A to point B and came across an adult, what appeared to be a mother humpback whale, who happened to be taking a nap, just bobbing on the surface, neutral buoyancy, taking a breath every so often, and being circled ever so gently by a younger whale, apparently her calf. We stopped and drifted and just watched this this pair, bob and nuzzle and go through their life in a way we don't understand, but it's fascinating.
These whales would put on a show for the fews and McConkeys breaching from afar and others a bit closer.
I think the best theories of why humpbacks engage in the activity of breaching and tail lobs and fin slapping is a form of communication. It makes sense to me, especially knowing that researchers have found that those loud noises have traveled through waters and can be heard by other humpbacks for hundreds of miles.
The whales sound, the reels scream, and these fish just don't quit eating.
Yep, there's a fish right under it. Come on. I mean, wouldn't you rather fish something up on top? And with cohos, they allow you to do that in many places in Alaska. If there's an estuary,
He ate it.
especially if there's any water at all where there's a little current where you can throw that popper out there and just kind of let it work. Rarely will you pop it and they'll come up and eat it, you know. They like it just kind of laying there and kind of bouncing along, and so we were able to get some of those fish on a popper. I just think it's great, and they're big, you know, they're 10 pounds and they fight pretty good, and I think it's the ultimate. And so you can come here with your sink tips and fish your clousers and strip really fast. You can bring a floating fly line, do the same thing with you know, a little higher in the water column, or you can go up on top. I didn't catch as many fish up on top, but I caught enough where, you know, it made it interesting all day. So pink, purple, it was pretty cool.
Come on, baby.
It's Alaska, and it's wild. We'll wrap up the show when we come back. This is enormous country. It's really difficult to describe. If you like to feel small, like to get a sense of a dramatically rugged landscape, a place like no other on Earth, then this place will inspire all of that and more. A college basketball season can be a grind, even for a coach that wins 80% of his games. Alaska offers many a chance to find balance. Someone living in a competitive world can find peace in a place like this. A few days with friends and making memories with a son. There were a lot of fish caught in these few days, but so much more happened. This is an unforgettable place. These were unforgettable days. I'm Greg Heister. I'll see you next time on Seasons on the Fly.
The experience we had coming in here and seeing the humpbacks, breaching, the sea lions, the seals. He said, you know, this is wild Alaska, and we're out away from everybody, and this is wild Alaska. It's been awesome.
It's been a little crazy just to be so far from everything, and it's a pretty cool feeling just being out on your own. You know, you look anywhere and it's hard to find anything that resembles the sign of humans being here, you know. And you know, you look on the map and you can kind of tell, you know, we're a long ways from everything out here.
I think if you get tired, if you overlook, if you underappreciate this place, Southeast Alaska, you should find something else to do. My curse is not being able to show everyone who comes to visit me in the course of a week the hundreds and thousands of places that I'm aware of, that I've visited, that virtually no one else ever gets to experience.
At least for me, this really kind of grounds me and gets me down, but it also starts it's the launching point that, you know, to another journey. It gives me at least a great opportunity with just all this peace and solitude to have some good thought, and put some thoughts down on paper, and then, you know, from here on out, it's nothing but basketball.